What's up, guys? This is going to be the ultimate self-improvement ranking list. We're going to take a look at every single self-improvement habit out there that you've heard of and rank them in order from worst to best so that you guys can focus your energy on things that will actually help you improve your success with girls and other areas of your life. So as you guys know, there's a lot of self-improvement habits out there, some that work and some that absolutely do nothing. We decided to take all of them and rank them in 4 different tiers. The 4th tier, which is what we're going to start with, is a tier where I feel like there's absolutely no practical, tangible benefit for you doing this. The first tier is going to be the most effective habits that are absolutely guaranteed to help you improve with girls and other areas of your life. There's only going to be 5 habits in there, so make sure you guys watch until the very end. All right, so let's start off with 4th tier. The first thing on the list is waking up early. You see this a lot with hustle culture. It's like, yeah, you got to wake up before the sun comes up. No, you gotta wake up at 4 a.m. I'll tell you guys a fun little secret. What time you go to bed and what time you guys wake up doesn't make any kind of tangible difference in how successful you are. Me personally, I go to bed at like 6 a.m., wake up at 3 p.m. I'm quite successful with girls and with money. What matters is what you actually do during the day, what you get accomplished. What time you start your day is purely personal preference. Next up on the list, we have quitting stimulants, specifically things like coffee and nicotine, right? You see this a lot in the self-improvement community. You gotta do a coffee detox. Why? What is the benefit of doing that? Now look, if you're drinking 20 cups of coffee a day and you're about to have a heart attack, yeah, maybe you should take it easy on coffee. But a lot of some of the most successful people on the planet, entrepreneurs, guys who run Fortune 500 companies, they drink coffee and they chew on nicotine, even sometimes smoking nicotine vapes to be more productive. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that in moderation. And third up on the list, we have making your bed every day. This is something that was started by Jordan Peterson, and I will say the OG Jordan Peterson had some good ideas around 2017, but this was not one of them. There's absolutely no benefit in making your bed. It doesn't make you more successful. It doesn't make you less successful. I understand the premise behind it, like, hey, if you make your bed, then the rest of your life is going to be organized. It doesn't really work that way. I never make my bed. In fact, successful people, rich people, they don't make their own bed. They have their housekeeper do it for them. So there's absolutely no advantage to doing this. It's not going to help you anyway. It's a pure waste of time. And last up on the list, we have affirmations. So if you're not familiar with what affirmations are, it's basically when you stand in front of a mirror and you say good things like, I am so successful. I am so sexy. I am so smart. I'm going to make $1 million, right? Unfortunately, affirmations have absolutely zero science behind them. I think that maybe in theory, you could make you more positive, but there's absolutely no science behind it. I think it's a waste of time, and I think there's much more important and productive self-improvement habits you're going to see as we go through the list. Next up, we have the 3rd tier. These are things that have the potential to help you. They're not an absolute waste of time like things in the 4th tier, but they're also not things you absolutely need to be doing, but they're things that you could look into if you're looking to step up your self-improvement game. So first here we have cold showers. This is something that's very popular in the self-improvement community and hustle culture. It's like, yeah, start off your day with a cold shower. Logic is very simple. If you have the mental resilience to get through a cold shower, you're gonna have the resilience to get through whatever other challenges life throws your way. I did spend about 2-3 years doing cold showers. I found them to be mildly helpful. I think this is something good to do when you're just getting into self-improvement, right? To kind of motivate you and get your day started on the right track. But they're not things you need to be doing. I haven't done one in 4 or 5 years and I'm still pretty successful and motivated. Next up, we have gratitude. So this may seem very similar to affirmations, but it's actually a little bit different. Affirmations is just basically saying things that you want to be true. I am going to be successful. I am successful. Versus gratitude is taking time out of your day to show appreciation for things that happen to you that you're happy about. So for example, with me, my version of gratitude might be saying like, oh, today was a great day. I got 20,000 views on my YouTube video, and then this big titty Latina gave me her phone number. I'm so looking forward to motorboating her huge tits, blah, 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 right? Being grateful for things, friends, family, career, little things that happen to you throughout your day, right? Basically taking time out to appreciate that. And that is good because it can make you more positive, which is going to be an essential quality in terms of succeeding with girls and getting through tough times. Next up, we have journaling. This is something that can be very easily combined with gratitude. And this is basically just taking time out to write about things that happen to you throughout your day and how you feel about it. And this is a good way to grow your self-awareness. But if you're already a person who has a lot of self-awareness and you're in touch with your subconscious, you don't really need to be doing this. And last up, we have a phone detox or technology detox. This is something that's become really popular in the last several years as people have become absolutely addicted to their phones. So if you're one of these people, then yeah, you should consider doing a phone detox or a dopamine detox. However, if you're someone who has a semi-normal relationship with technology, like you use it for work, use it to communicate with your friends, but you're also living your life in the real world, then this is not something you absolutely need to be doing, but it could potentially be helpful. Next up, we have the 2nd tier. These are things that I believe have a high possibility of helping you, but they're not absolutely crucial. You can get by without doing these things, but I do recommend you check out every single thing I'm about to mention. So first off, we have optimizing your health. So this means doing blood work and testing to see where you're deficient. Could be your vitamins, could be your minerals, could be your hormones, and fixing that either through diet or supplementation. For example, the vast majority of people in the US are deficient in vitamin D. So if you just take some vitamin D daily, you can look and feel better. This is important for 2 reasons. First of all, women have this spidey sense, this intuition, where they can pick up on whether a man actually is healthy and is vital, or a man who's basically 2 steps away from death. And they're gonna be way more likely to be subconsciously attracted to a man who's healthy. This is just simply evolution and genetics. Second of all, if you're tired, if you have no energy, if you don't feel good, how are you gonna pick up girls? How are you gonna go on a date? How are you gonna perform in the bedroom, right? So it's important to be healthy and have a lot of stamina in order to be successful with women. Also, at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything else. Next up, we have intermittent fasting. This directly ties into the previous point. I've been doing intermittent fasting for about 4 years now, and there's a lot of really good science behind it showing that it boosts your testosterone, boosts your growth hormone, boosts your fat burning, and for me, it just gives me a lot more energy. So if you have a lot more energy, you're gonna be way more likely to go up and talk to girls, get a lot more shit done, swipe more on Tinder, etc., etc. Next up, we have tracking. So what tracking means is that you're monitoring your progress towards each goal that you have. So with fitness, you might be tracking your calories. You might be tracking what kind of weight you're lifting at the gym. I can tell you when I was tracking my calories, I was making a lot more progress than now when I'm not tracking my calories, because it's very easy to basically not get done what you thought you were getting done and backwards rationalize it. So tracking is a really good way to ensure that you're not spinning your wheels and you're actually moving forward towards your goal. Next up, we have NoFap. So NoFap is something that's really popular in the self-development community. And when it comes to being successful with women, I think it's very important. Money, less so. But if you're trying to step up your game, I think this is something that's crucial. Imagine this scenario. Outcome number 1 is basically a guy who goes to the bar, he gets rejected by a few girls, but he knows he can just go home and jerk off to a girl that's his perfect 10. So what is he gonna do? Well, he's probably just gonna call it quits and go home. Scenario number 2, that same guy gets rejected by a few girls, but he knows the only way he's gonna bust a nut is if he pulls back a girl that he's attracted to. Which one of those guys do you think is more likely to be successful? Also, if you're sitting around watching porn a day, that's gonna decondition you and it's gonna give you all kinds of sexual issues. So I think NoFap is something that's very important. You have to be religious about it, but if you're jerking off, every day or even several times a week, that's no bueno. Next up, we have reading. This is something I think is great because it gives you the correct information to be successful, but also puts you in the right headspace. Some of my favorite autobiographies are things like Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've read that one at least 5 times. The Elon Musk book by Ashley Vance, or the Steve Jobs book. Also like to read other types of book like 48 Laws of Power, I think is a great one. The Winner Effect by Ian Robertson is definitely a must-have. And also The Rise of Superman by Stephen Kohler. These are great books that I would definitely recommend. Again, they put you in the right headspace. You get to see inside the mind of a highly successful person. Next up, we have getting coaching. But the caveat is has to be from a good coach. So if you get coaching from someone who sucks or doesn't know what they're doing, then you're gonna, at the very best, waste your money. But if you get coaching from someone who's very successful in a field that they're pursuing and they're also good at communicating, that can significantly speed up your learning curve. I've personally gotten coaching multiple times. I've paid people money who are more successful than me on YouTube to give me YouTube guidance because smart people realize they can learn a lot faster from other people's mistakes. I've also had other pickup artists who I think are better than me at cold approach analyze my infield because again, I recognize that I can learn a lot from their expertise. So no one is ever the best at everything, right? You have to be humble and realize what your strengths and weaknesses are and actually get a coach who can help you with those weaknesses. Again, you can probably figure it out on your own. It's just going to take a lot longer. Next up, we have cutting out bad people from your life. So there's a saying, which is that you're the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. I think it's very true. You don't want to be hanging out with negative people. You don't want to be hanging out with whiners and complainers, people who are dragging you down, especially when it comes to going out and picking up girls, because that definitely, especially if you're a beginner, can influence your results. So what I recommend is surround yourself with positive people who are working towards goals, people who are not complainers, people who work hard. Those are the people you want most in your life. If you have one friend who complains, then you don't have to completely cut off your friendship, but don't go out picking up girls with him. And last up, we have networking. So networking is a really great way to get laid without doing much work. If you get connected with cool people who have parties, you go to the party and can meet girls through social circle, or maybe they'll introduce you to girls. This is much easier than cold approach or online dating, but again, requires a little bit of social savvy, but it's something that can be extremely beneficial. And finally, we have the first tier. These are things that I think are the most important when it comes to being better with women. The focus here is picking up chicks, but also I think this will help you with other areas of your life. So first up, we have cold approach. Big surprise. If you want to get better at talking to girls, you have to go out there and talk to girls. You can't just cold shower your way inside a woman's vagina, right? You have to actually go up and talk to her. There's a lot of advantages to cold approach. It pushes you outside your comfort zone. It makes you more resilient. It develops your social skills and allows you to actually meet girls that you can then go on a date with. So I think this is something that's very important. Next up, we have going to the gym. And yes, I put this in the first tier for several reasons. First of all, if you develop some muscle, women are going to be more attracted to you and then they're going to respect you more. You're going to have a lot less guys trying to cock block you at the club. Also, the gym teaches you a lot of the same mindsets you need to be successful with women. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you how to push through the pain. It teaches you discipline. So I think that there's so much overlap here that I think it belongs in the first tier. Next up, we have visualization. So it's really no big, surprise that literally every single person who's successful, when you read their autobiography, talks about the importance of visualization. Every single one of them, literally. Just read autobiographies and you will see this pattern. And I think because there's something to it. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit around for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes and visualize yourself living and accomplishing your goals, right? Basically, so if your goal is, for example, to hook up with hot girls, you're gonna visualize yourself having sex with a hot girl. You're gonna visualize yourself going up and talking to a girl and getting a positive reaction. I think it's a really good way of programming your subconscious. You still have to balance it out by taking effort. You can't just visualize and do nothing else. But if you're doing cold approach, going to the gym and visualizing, that's a very lethal combination. Next up, we have setting goals. This is also very important. Now, you might subconsciously know what your goals are, but what I recommend you do is you actually write them out either on a piece of paper or on your phone. Me personally, I have my daily goals, my weekly goals, and my yearly goals. I know exactly what I'm trying to accomplish, so there's no basically confusion about, hey, am I going in the right direction or am I not? And last up, we have meditation. Meditation has a lot of science behind it. They've done a lot of studies and they find that meditation actually works in lowering anxiety and giving you a whole bunch of benefits. I went through a period where I was meditating fairly regularly, and I can tell you during the days I meditated, I was a lot more calm, confident, collected during my time when I was talking to girls doing cold approach than I was not. There's definitely something to it. I think that if you're a guy who's kind of nervous, who has a hard time talking to girls, you get a lot of approach anxiety, or you kind of fumble when you're on a date, then meditation is absolutely something you should be doing, in addition to all the other things in the first tier. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. I'm just giving you guys a whole bunch of self-improvement tools, but the biggest part is actually taking action and implementing some of these things. If you guys enjoy this type of content, show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, clicking the bell for notification, sharing this video with a few friends, because that really helps in the algorithm. Also, check out a free Tinder ebook, link in description below. Thank you for watching. Until next time.